Yo, this is Brian, and yes, I have a swim parka on, but not because you gotta wear a swim parka to make bread, but because when you're a triathlete, you have to swim, train, and make bread. So what we're gonna do today is I'm gonna get some breads going for our first round of getting it all mixed together with the squishy squashy. Then I'm gonna hit the pool, do my swim sesh, come back, and then we're gonna go ahead and do our first round of stretch and folds. We're making 2 loaves today. This is how we're gonna prep out our day. It's about 7:45 in the morning. In my neck of the woods, we're gonna make a inclusion sourdough loaf with cheddar cheese and jalapenos. I found a really great recipe. I've gone 2 for 2 that'll come out really well, but I haven't done it with an inclusion yet, so let's do that together. And we're also gonna make a honey sandwich bread that's gonna be really good. So let's get this party started. So on the first loaf, we're gonna do 500 grams of flour, 100 grams of starter, 10 grams of salt, and 375 grams of water. So let's go ahead and get that mixed in. I'll bring the camera over for a point of view. All right, so first thing we're gonna do, we're gonna go ahead and measure out the starter. Okay, so when I made my leaven last night to make these loaves, I went a little shy. So I only have just under 90 grams of starter for the honey sourdough loaf, which it calls for 110 grams in the recipe, but we're gonna try it with 90. So we'll use this as a learning experience if that difference is gonna make a huge difference or not on the loaf, because I already measured everything out, so we'll go through with it. And then I do have obviously enough for the sourdough with the inclusions of the jalapeno and cheddar cheese. So I got my starters measured out. I'm gonna go ahead and get the water warm, put it in, mix them together, and then we'll throw in our flour and salt, and then we'll get this into a shaggy dough, and that's where we're gonna let it sit for about 45 minutes to an hour. Alrighty, so it's been about an hour. So we are ready for our first round of stretch and folds. This is gonna be our sourdough loaf that's gonna have the inclusions. And this is gonna be our sandwich loaf that is gonna just have 2 stretch and folds. This one we're gonna go for 5 or 6 stretch and folds every 30 minutes. Let's go ahead and do our first one. So again, the sandwich loaf though, you can just see it's just not sticky compared to normal sourdough, which is great. But you're gonna stretch and fold the same way, so pull up until it gives you some resistance, slap it over, turn it, pull it up till it gives you some resistance, put it over, and just do it to each side. So 4 rounds of it, all the way around, make it into a nice ball, and then we're gonna go ahead and let this sit for another 30 minutes. Then do one more, and then that one's gonna be ready to go in proof. So there we go. And then bring it into the main sourdough loaf. We are gonna start adding our inclusions during our stretch and folds. So this one, again, much stickier than the sandwich loaf, but still easy to work with. Just go all the way around. Same thing, pulling up until you get some resistance. Folding it over. And then we're gonna do the same thing, wait 30 minutes, come back and do another round. Okay, so we're on our 4th set of stretch and folds, and we're gonna go ahead and fold in our cubed cheddar and our jalapenos that I have wrapped in paper towels to make sure the moisture gets taken out of them, because we want to add any more moisture to our dough. So I'm gonna go ahead and put these in, stretch and fold, and we're gonna have one more round of stretch and fold before we go into the proofing.